especially if you one person shop. Most people are. They start like one person in the business first. If you go large, start gonna go bigger first. You're gonna be overwhelmed. Be too much. You're gonna get stressed out. Then your business is gonna fail. So by starting small and growing that way, it gives you time to hire employees, get your funds in order, get out your protocols over, so you know what to do when time a frustrated customer or what customer you take on, how much you take on all at one time.
And that can be very difficult for a person like myself, right? I am a shoot then aim type of person. I'm jumping out of the plane. I'm building the parachute as I'm going down, right? That's how my mindset is, right? I don't like to wait to do anything. But I remember years ago when I was reading this book, Dave Ramsey book. He's a snowball, right? And that's basically what he was talking about doing, right? He said when you try to clear off your debt, you get the smallest to largest, right? You knock out the smallest debt, you go to the next debt. You knock out that next smallest debt, go to the next one. And then all of a sudden, all that money that you was paying on the first debt now is snowballing to the bigger debt, right? And that's how you work yourself all the way through and become debt free. I think that's the same way in business, right? You start small. So if you want to, let's say, this is something that's not even in business, but let's take a record company, right? Records and tape stores. We did this back in the day. You start with a couple tapes, sell a few tapes, let that grow into, get you some albums or whatever the case is, get you some records, whatever you're gonna do. But then get to that next level to where you have to buy in bulk, right? I think that's the best way to do it, and you save yourself, man, for crashing and burning. There's no worse feeling, man, to invest your time into something and it crash and burn, and then now you're in debt because of it. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Well, you can took your time and methodically chipped away at it, and then get to that point where you're trying to go. That's
I remember this. I had this mentor maybe like 4 years ago, because I was the jump off the parachute person too, and he said that we overestimate what we can do in 1 year, and we underestimate what we can achieve in 3 years. And I just was like, and I think that we just have this, I want it now, like I need to do this now, because a lot of us probably have waited so long, or, we have this fear of or this need, like we got to catch up, or, it's this emotion, like if I don't do it, these really rational lies that we tell ourselves that really make us feel like, I need to get this done, and I need to get all of this done. And I always tell people, I turn my whiffs into links, right? Like I took all of these 10 things and I made them a straight line, and I just kind of knocked them off like one by one. And it has made my life so much easier, right? Because I'm not trying to do 10, 15 things at one time. It's like, it's like I'm just focused on one. Yeah. I'm working on houses and, reconstruction, and then seeing clients, and then raising kids. And then it's like, Sheila, this is why you're stressed, right? And like I said, but it was that need to, I'm 35, or, I'm about to turn 30, or just the age story comes in, or the financial story comes in, and we just have to be mindful of those narratives that we're telling ourselves, because if you put one foot in front of the other, you will get there, and so we just have to kind of slow down and bite the elephant one bite at a time, because you're gonna choke yourself if you don't, and just shifting the mindset just to say, let me just do this one bite at a time, one product at a time. And that shift by itself is like a lot to take in. Yeah, it's just like but the belief that will get me there, I think, is what a person has to come to accept. Like, you don't have to do all 15 things. You will accomplish all 15 things, I guarantee, if you prioritize them. But you're not going to accomplish any of the 15 things if you're trying to do all 15 things right now, and if you do, you're not going to be able to experience them in their fullness because you're going to be so stressed out, or you're going to be in the hospital bed, or you're going to have an IV hooked up to your arm, or you've been had, fainted somewhere, so you're not going to be able to enjoy it. And a lot of business that start off big, that scale really fast. When you talk to those CEOs, they'll tell you how stressful, that was, or, how they had to take these breaks, or, you know what I mean? Because they jumped in too fast, So if you're starting out, just like one thing at a time, And again, that's not taught to a lot of people, but it's a mindset shift.
There's no worse mindset. I guess half worked through ideas in your brain, right? So even if you got 1,000 of them going on, where you just started this and you put it to the side, you started this, put it to the side, and even if you go on vacation, you're gonna be thinking about that. Your mind ain't clear. You got too much going on. But if you put it to the side, work yourself. Okay, this is what I'm gonna focus on right now. Get this done, right? And then go to the next thing, man. I'm telling you, to make your life 100% clear. That's what happened to me.
Get your accountability partner. Get your accountability partner. LaShay know. I'll be like, okay, LaShay, because this is my accountability partner. I'll be like, okay, LaShay, I may try to change this. If I do, bring me back and say, okay, we're going to pin that for another time. And what we're going to do is we're going to finish this thing, because I'm the parachute. I'm like, I want to shoot. I'm like, I guess got this idea. And so, and here's the thing. Entrepreneurs were born like that. And that's what's the importance of a team, and getting you a coach and getting you somebody to hold you accountable to help you see a thing through, right? Because, everybody on this panel are thinkers. We're creators, right? We want to create things. And sometimes our job is to create it and pass it on, right? Or create it and then have somebody hold us accountable to seeing that whole vision through, or ask the right questions and say, well, did you think about this? Or did you think about that? You know what I mean? To say if that's a good idea or not. But, see it through, that whole one thing, or start small. Yeah.
Right. And